Welcome agents. So a lot of new positive changes and new additions to the game have been found in Phase 2 of the PTS, which include a new exotic item, new weapon, new named gear with a new perfect talent rolls, and a lot more. Today I wanted to go over everything I could find and felt was worthy of being included in this video. So if you enjoy this one, please hit the like button below, subscribe for dedicated Division 2 content, and let's get started. Okay, so first and foremost, all of this information has come from other people posting on forums, not from my own experiences, so all props to everyone for being so vocal so I can make these videos for everyone. So let's start with the new name gear and perfect talents. Unfortunately, there are only a few images that have been uploaded so far, and I will include them here, but I don't have images for every single thing. So let's go over the ones that have been found so far. There's about 15 here, and of course, if you have any more, then leave them in the comments down below. First up, we got the Claws Out Wyvern Wear Holster with Perfect Bloodlust. Weapon swapping grants plus 20% weapon damage for 5 seconds. This buff is lost for 5 seconds if you weapon swap while it is active. Then we got the Zero F's Badger Tough chest piece with Perfectly Unbreakable. 100% max armor is repaired when your armor is depleted. Armor kits used within 7 seconds are not consumed. Now for the rest of these, pretty much, I don't have the actual named item names. I just have the sort of perfect talents. So let's go over those. So we got a Gila Mask with Perfect Spotter. 20% weapon damage to pulsed enemies. Regular Spotter is 15%. China Light Backpack with Perfect Spark is 25% weapon damage after dealing skill or explosive damage. The regular Spark is 20%. Providence Backpack, Perfectly on the Ropes. 20% weapon damage, and the regular is 15% as well. We then got the Fenris Chest with a red mod slot, by the way, which is a Perfect Berserk, up to 60% weapon damage when your armor is broken. Regular Berserk is up to 50%. We got the Ariolda Chest, which is Perfect Vigilance, 30% weapon damage. Regular Vigilance is 25%, and you're seeing a pattern here. Generally, it's an extra 5%, so it's minor, but it's the difference. That's the biggest difference when it comes to endgame. You want to be getting those minor increases in power. We then got Badger Chest with Perfectly Unbreakable, 100% armor returned on armor break. Regular Unbreakable is 70%, so that seems really strong. Petrov Gloves, Perfect Terminate, 40% skill damage on enemy armor break. Regular Terminate is 35%. We've got the 511 Gloves, Perfect Clutch, 25% health and 2% armor on critical hit. Obviously, at the moment, it's 20% health and 1% armor on regular clutch. So with this, we could see the return of clutch builds. Wyvern Holster, Perfect Bloodlust, 20% weapon damage on weapon swap for 5 seconds. Regular Bloodlust is 15%. We've got a RNK Holster, Perfect Blacksmith, 60% armor repair on sidearm kill. Regular Blacksmith is 50%. We then got the Fox's Prayer Overlord Kneepads, which has got Perfect Entrench, 15% armor repair on headshots from cover. Regular Entrench is 10%. We've got the Murakami Industries Emperor's Guard with a blue mod slot. Perfect Cloaked. Armor depleted, nearby enemy skills are disrupted for 15 seconds. Can occur once every 15 seconds. Regular Cloaked is 10 seconds. Can occur once every 30 seconds. So what you will notice is that with some of these, the regular talent has been nerfed and then the perfect talent has replaced them. An example here is Spotter. This of course does not apply to them all, and most perfect talents are just a better version of the current talents in the game right now. As I've shown before, it's only a minor increase, but that is a huge difference. It appears they've been kind of dropping everywhere as well at the moment, so right now I don't know if any of these are heroic mission or level 4 control points or dark zone exclusive named items, but as soon as I do, I'll let you guys know. I'm very excited to have something to chase for. I just hope that these new named items are rare to find, like a really low percentage. They should be like Barrett's chess piece of the Division. Well, maybe not that low, but they need to be a rare drop, and I'm slightly concerned that with 15 or so in this video and 35 to get in total, and we haven't had the PTS out that long, the drop rate might be too high already. We'll have to wait and see though. Moving on, and some new Sawyer Exotic Kneepads. As soon as I say Sawyer, it reminds me of Lost. The TV series, I'm not sure if any of you guys watched that, but it was pretty good up until the last couple of seasons. But anyway, new Sawyer Exotic Kneepads have been found in game. On screen you'll see the best image I can find of them online, and the talents read as follows. Short Circuit, plus 80% Jammer Pulse charge speed. First Wave Tech, Disruption Effect, now destroy hostile skill proxies. After staying in cover for 4 seconds, you gain the Lead by Example buff. Now the last talent currently does not have description on the PTS, but I think it's safe to say that we know what it is, because these exotic Kneepads were leaked over 3 months ago. I actually did a video on these about 3 months ago, and the description for the third talent was as follows from the leak. Lead by example. While cover swapping, all bullets that hit you are deflected towards their origin, dealing no damage to you. Completing a cover-to-cover move with this buff active consumes the buff, giving the player bonus armor, and releases a disruption effect. The amount of bonus armor and radius of the disruption is based off the distance travelled. Specialization weapons are not reflected by this buff. You imagine doing that and shooting a grenade launcher and it comes back at you. That would be pretty strong. So this is obviously going to be quite strong, but I imagine very situational, exotic for PvE. Whilst cover is more important for PvP in this game compared to the Division, and you know there is a new talent giving you 10% extra damage whilst in cover, overall these Kneepads are unlikely to be used in a PvP environment. With that said, I've not tested these, and this has just come from my initial reaction, so maybe I'm just completely wrong here. Maybe these are the best PvP exotics in the game right now. If any of you have these and have tested them, let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'm just excited to try these things out in PvE. I think they'll be pretty good. Next up, and the UI stat sheet has changed quite a bit on the PTS for the better. As you can see, this new UI gives a full breakdown of what items make up the stats that you have. Here you can see there's 49% assault rifle damage, which is combined of gloves, 3 offensive mod slots, and assault rifle damage on a Fenris holster. Now this is a huge improvement to the current stat sheet in the live game, so of course, really positive. I think the devs could go one step further, however, with 2 more additions. One, the allocated damage from the specialization is not included, but it does make up that 49% of damage, so it would be nice to have that on there somewhere. Secondly, I think the UI should show the exact amounts, each thing that's making up the total amount on there. So for here, next to the mods, it would say 5%, and the same for the rest. Overall though, this is a huge positive change, and these little changes, sometimes they make the biggest difference. So let's just hope the devs keep working on these little quality of life changes. Moving on, and a new KSG shotgun has been found. As you can see, this is a low rate of fire, high damage shotgun, and it's one of my favourite shotguns from previous experiences in other games. I think I used to use this quite a lot in Call of Duty. I don't remember which one though. The devs have this to say about shotguns as well. Shotguns are not in this round of adjustments, but will also get improvements, especially in the end game. This will be accomplished by changing shotguns to start rolling damage to armor instead of melee damage in TU6, as well as adjusting individual underperforming shotguns damage to be more competitive. This is not yet on the PTS. So that's some pretty juicy news here about shotguns. Damage to armor was something I always thought would work well within the game, but I did say, maybe it would work really well with rifles, but it appears the devs think it would work best on shotguns, so we'll have to wait and see how it's going to pan out. What I hope is that we don't get the 1 or 2 tap shotgun meta back again, because that was quite frustrating. I hope they balance it properly. Next up, and I previously covered the ongoing directive 4-piece changes, and I said I was looking forward to the other gear set changes as well. Well, today we've got True Patriot, Hardwired, Negotiator's Dilemma, Tip of the Spear, and Aces and Eights, so let's just go through all of these as well and see what the 4 pieces are looking like. Alright, so let's start with True Patriot. 2-piece is plus 10% total armor. 3-piece is red, white, and blue. When you shoot an enemy, apply a debuff to them. Debuffs are applied in the order red, white, blue, cycling every 2 seconds. Red decreases damage dealt by the enemy. White restores armor to friendlies that shoot this enemy. And blue boosts skill haste to friendlies that shoot the enemy. And then for the 4-piece, we've got Full Flag. Anyone dealing damage to an enemy that has all 3 debuffs will deal 50% more damage to other nearby enemies that have at least one of the debuffs. So let's move on. So moving on to Hardwired. 2-piece is plus 20% skill power. The 3-piece is Tamper Proof. Electrify your deployed skills. Hive Turret's Pulse Sensor, causing enemies wandering too close to be shocked. Can occur every 10 seconds. Then the 4-piece, we've got Feedback Loop. Killing with a skill resets the cooldown of your other skill. Repairing a friend's agent's armor from 0 resets the cooldown of your skills, can only occur every 15 seconds. When a skill cooldown ends or reaches full charges, gain bonus damage and repair to all skills for 15 seconds. Moving on, we've got the Negotiator's Dilemma. So with 2-piece, we got 30% explosive resistance. The 3-piece is Blowback. Launch a grenade at the target that depleted your armor, can occur once every 3 seconds. Pretty much martyrdom from God. It requires a demolitionist specialization as well. And then for the 4-piece, press home the advantage. Explosions caused by the player stacks a bombardier buff. Each stack of the buff grants party raid members plus 10% explosives damage and the player with 10% bonus armor for 10 seconds. A max on that is 4 stacks. I actually think I've seen this being used in the raid to really good effect. I think this was even before this, so yeah, I'm pretty sure this is probably going to be really strong against the raid afterwards as well. Next up, we got Tip of the Spear for 2-piece. We've got 20% protection from elites. 3-piece, electromagnetic trigger. Crossbow bolts are equipped with a proximity detonator, or detonators. On impact, bolts trigger a 9-meter pulse. With this, you need the survivalist specialization. And then we got the 4-piece aggressive recon. When killing an enemy, trigger a small pulse from their location. Party raid members deal 20% extra damage to pulsed targets. So that's Tip of the Spear. Last here is Aces and 8s. 2-piece is plus 10% marksman rifle damage. 3-piece is Dead Man's Hand. Flip a card by shooting an enemy with your marksman rifle. Headshots flip 2. Full House increases magazine size by 100% for 10 seconds. 4 of a Kind grants 30% bonus armor for 10 seconds. And Aces and 8s grants the next 5 bullets 100% bonus damage. And of course you need the Sharpshooter specialization for this. And then for number 4, we got Sheriff's Favor. Effects of Dead Man's Hand are applied to all of your party and raid members. So yeah, there we go. That's all of them so far on here. Of course, these are all subject to change, so we don't know for sure if this is how it's going to be. But I would assume that based on all of this, that this is how it's going to be. Which again is yeah. You guys have to let me know what you think about all of these. I don't use gear sets all that often, so I know some of these are not. As in, I know that some of these have changed. Like I know the 2 pieces on these have changed on some of these, I believe. But overall, I don't use that many gear sets because they're really underpowered. So it's hard to me to think off the top of my head whether these are actually going to be good or not. But what I do know is that if you combine, you know, all of these talents or whatever for these gear sets, and that's only making up 4 pieces, and you've still got 2 pieces left to, you know, maybe have a named item on there or an exotic or whatever it might be. So regardless of that fact, gear sets are actually going to be more viable generally across the board. And I can see some pretty strong builds coming out of gear sets and, you know, hybrid builds with gear sets and exotics and name gear. So I'm excited for that. Alright, agents, I'm going to end it there. That isn't everything. I've still got quite a few bits here that I could probably talk about, but this video will be at least half hour long. Plus, we've had some stuff today like the new apparel event and maintenance and whatever it might be. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a separate video for all of that, just so this video isn't crazy long. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. Again, if you did, please drop a like. Really does help me out. And if you've stuck around until the end, really, really do appreciate it. You don't understand how much that matters in this YouTube game. But thanks very much again, and until the next one, Epic out.